Hi, hello, good evening, and good day. It has become quite clear that God does not like Paige, and neither do we. And we are here to tell you why.
God, that saxophone.
Whenever I hear the sax, I think of Gina, actually. She was the one who I felt like really had the biggest reaction to
I was
that.
like, ooh.
Fancy. So stupid. Any Hoosers, I'm Kyle Petty, and I am joined, as always, by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And this is Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Not presumptuous, we're confident. You can find us on the social at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Okay. Here we are. Oh, hey, Leah. Woo, Leah's
Yeah,
back.
we got some
Hi.
comments here.
Oh, happy
What's up,
Paige is going- I
Leah?
know they're having a Paige goodbye party. Release, she's going before jury. Exactly. Your vote's not welcome. Matt's here for the sax solo. Let's go. Let's
Sax
get it.
solo.
Let's hear it for the
Yeah.
sax. Hear it for the sax.
Hell yeah.
Stupid. So stupid. Okay. So this episode really kicked off with one of my favorite things. We had a Survivor auction.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the Survivor auction. I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
love a good
I
auction.
love
Is
it
this something
so
that's like-
much.
Is this specific to Australia or does this happen in ours?
No, this happened in ours.
Oh, I've
just
never seen this.
pre-40 silliness. Pre-40 silliness. I can't tell you
Auction
what
is
other
so
seasons
fun.
I've seen it in. I just feel like I know I've seen it before.
I really liked it. I assumed it was something that was specific to Australia.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen Jeff present things. Absolutely. Yeah, no, we like a Survivor auction. But this Survivor auction was one of the best I've ever seen, because it really kicked off with a tribe swap. We love anytime it's time to drop those buffs, and we saw our survivors do that on today or on the other day. Yeah.
Leah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have it. Go ahead.
here we go. They haven't done it recently, but it was done often in early seasons, says Leah.
There you go. Yeah.
There
Interesting.
you go.
Survivor auction. So, some people were split up. I guess the most noteworthy things that, the meat tray, the group of alpha men, as they like to call themselves, or others like to call them as well, they all ended up on the villain side. So we're
Every
looking at
time
Simon,
another one of them
Sean.
would pick up the purple one, I was like, "Are you?"
Yeah,
kidding?
isn't that crazy? You couldn't have planned it better. And for our audio only friends, that came with air quotes.
Yeah.
So what is it? Simon, Sean, Sam, and Dave. That four, the meat tray.
I can't believe they all ended up together. Simon was very excited.
He was absolutely thrilled.
And Jordy was not. Jordy was very not excited at all.
Jordy was not thrilled. And the thing is, Simon really firmly puts himself in this category where he's such a strong physical contender, but I can't say that I've seen him do a whole great deal, right?
Yeah.
He's not bad, but he kind of, anytime he goes twice in the challenge, it seems like it's because he's trying to redeem himself from the flaw in the earlier, I don't know.
Right.
Right. Simon, I think you're on everyone else's level. Maybe just
he works
above, relax.
He works too hard to try to prove something, and if it's to himself or to somebody else or whatever. It's he's always trying to prove that
it's so
he's some
weird
great
because
player
it's
or something. It's
at the same time, he both has such a big ego and such a fragile one at the same time. He's trying so hard to be no, please, everybody think that I'm great, while at the same time being I'm better than everybody. And it's you can't be both of these people.
Is it also possible that maybe editing is kind of catching him here?
Sure. Sure.
Because as theater people, we certainly like to project as if like we got this, we got this, we got this, and you can catch us in our finest moments,
Mm-hmm.
and we look like very capable, confident people. Well, we know behind closed doors, like we're wrecks.
He's very
Um,
loud about it, though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he is.
He's really
I'm a
vocal
total-
about his ego.
I'm a total hack. What do you think of Matt's comment here? One of the most uneven tribe swaps that he's ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right?
I would agree with that. We also saw the separation of the Spice Girl alliance, right?
I know.
We saw George and Shawnee going to the heroes tribe, leaving Liz all by her lonesome over on the villains.
I think Liz is going to be okay, though. I think that we will have a Spice Girls reunion tour come merge.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. What else happened in here? Oh, all right. I got to be honest about something. I'm going to come real clean. I've been very vocal, very outspoken about my distaste for anything family related. This was the one episode I decided not to watch at the crack of dawn. Usually I get up at 5:30 and I watch Australian Spermage Rooney over coffee. I knew I was taking a half day for Valentine's, so I waited until around 2 o'clock. Well, let me tell you something. I watched this sucker and I was bawling.
A mess. A mess.
I said, Kyle, what is wrong with you? You do not know these people?
No, this one really got me too.
Yeah. This was
from the way the
very
whole thing
emotional.
was set up between the two tribes, just understanding that like it was going to come down to Jordy and Matt. Like that was it. Those are the only two that got to have a conversation about it. Matt getting it, everyone agreeing that Matt will have it. And then, he still ends up giving it to Jordy. And then just watching the entire conversation unfold. Like, I mean, I was full out sobbing.
And even seeing like while Jordy was having the that was emotional enough as it is, but then they kept cutting back to Matt crying, like looking at how beautiful it was, but also thinking about the fact that he could have had a similar moment, and it was just so much.
Right.
And like it got me too, like because how bad obviously Matt wanted this. He wanted this, but like when the way that like it was kind of worked out, he was like, listen, I really want to talk to my wife and I want to hear about our kid that's coming soon. But I do know, like, I was already aware of the scans that she had. I know that she's healthy. The baby's healthy. So like, if you're not sure, like, go for it. Like if there's some kind of doctor's appointment you weren't able to be at because you're playing this game and your wife had to go alone and you want to know what the results were, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was such like a real moment, like a real life moment in the middle of this game where these people are on this deserted island. This was like for a brief moment. This was like, oh, I just love this. I really loved it. And then even after the call that Jordy had, and like he was trying to make sure Matt, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Like he got the the prize. He got to talk to his wife. He found out that he's having a boy. He got to find out the what he was having, and that the baby was healthy and everything. And it was like that was such an amazing moment. But then the fact that Jordy's like first thought was, "Is Matt okay?" Like, oh God, this whole moment was
top to bottom. It was so good,
super emotional. I loved it. It was just what a great cast. Like what a great cast.
I thought it was
Australian
really
Survivor
opportunity though by production here to not give a call still to Matt. Like I thought,
I was like, please, because they were so nice about it and they were so giving about it. Just like throw him a bone, give him something.
I thought that's how this is going to end, and I have to admit being a little disappointed. That's
me too. I really wanted that to be the case.
I definitely thought he was going to pay his $220 and he was going to get
because Jonathan kept saying too, he kept being like, wow, I've really never seen it go down like this. I kept waiting for him to be like, and because of that, you will also get like, I really wanted that.
Nope, they're just like, nope, that was really nice. And moving on. Who wants his cheeseburger? He's like, no.
I agree. I really thought that JLP was going to be like, listen, Matt, we got time for one more call. Like, call your wife.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought they were going to have something like that. But
no.
Leah says maybe they will have the letters reward soon.
Yeah, the letters don't really speak to me. For some reason, this one got me, but But I guess the only
Also-
other noteworthy what?
No, just Jordy's wife seemed very cool. I liked her. She was nice.
Oh yeah.
I liked how she was like, "Is Jonathan okay? Like, is Jonathan treating you okay? Like, are you happy?"
Like, she was being
just,
nice.
Yeah,
I
like
nice
that.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the only other really noteworthy win here, so Benjamin got that brown onion. I did enjoy that. But then George winning guest of honor, right? So he gets to go on a little feast and bring two of his friends. Obviously, he reunites the Spice Girls after their recent separation. Selects Shawnee and Liz to go on this trip. And they dine together and find an idol.
That's right.
With Shawnee got, which I thought fair of George, I guess, but I still thought this should have just gone right to George. Like, you would not even have this idol.
I was like, is it just because she was the one that happened to unwrap it that now it's like, oh, I guess it belongs to you? Or like,
right? It's like, excuse me, I brought us here. Like, hold on now, this was just on the table. like, don't play with me.
I guess I wonder if he felt like, all right, because he got some like money or something too. It seemed.
Oh, he got a lot of money.
He did.
Yeah,
60,000,
60 grand or something. So maybe he just felt
like $5,000 like a month or something like that, or
right?
For like a week, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if he felt like, oh, like I got this money, so if there's any other, prizes here, you guys should take something too. Like, I wonder, or if it's just the type of thing that's like, we found this idol, like, Shawnee, you hold on to it, but if any of us need it, if any of us needs it, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they said. I don't know.
Oh, Matt says this. I agree with what Matt says here. He says, I would have given the idol to Liz to protect herself over there just in case. George and Sean have hers to protect them.
They don't know that, though.
They don't all know about Shawnee, but I do still feel like there's something to George and Shawnee having each other on the tribe and Liz being alone. And that's why I feel like I probably would have let her take it, I think. Just my opinion. I could be way off on that.
But. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. She did say she would give it to her if she felt like she was in trouble, though. And they could have passed it off during the immunity challenge if that was an issue,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. Haley and Sean, discussing trying to flush Simon's idol. His cookie idol. And that really brings us to the immunity challenge. Where we had to lock one survivor in a cage, while the rest of the tribe navigates through an obstacle course. Then you have to work together to solve a puzzle. The person that was locked up in the cage. What do you think about this? This is gross. I would never want to be the person that was in the cage.
Absolutely not.
Gina would be the one that'd be selected to go in it because you're the lightest. So
I'm not getting in there. Not gonna happen. No.
Sorry, we'll just be tossing you about just to and fro.
I'd go in the cage.
You go in the cage. I would
of course you would.
I do the slide at the end.
No, I would. Like, I'm not saying necessarily that I would want to, but like. I would go in the cage. All right, you guys do all the hard work. Push me along to the finish line.
You get to have like a little nap, but like no, I don't. Oh, it would freak me out. I wouldn't like it.
No, very, very scary. When I realized, I was like, why do they have this little handle thing? And then when I realized it's because there was a whole moment where they're like upside down. I'm like, absolutely not.
Could never be.
You see what Matt says here? Free lock flume ride in Samoa. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not exactly how I'd want it.
No.
So that's the only fun part. And I wouldn't quite call that free. It depends on what you consider currency. All right. Because I would have paid my dues back there going through all that stuff. All right. I deserve this slide part. Okay. I should have some fun.
The person that had it best was that person that was like at the end waiting to do the puzzle. I think Stevie was the one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that for the heroes or whatever? It was like he was just standing there like yelling to them like, hurry up. It's like you're not in the cage and you're not moving the cage. Like you're literally just standing there waiting to do a puzzle.
Just standing.
Yeah, that was the real winner. Whoever got to just stand there.
I don't understand how they even do these puzzles. Like, you don't even know what you're trying to make. Like,
where they don't even have like the box with the picture on it. Like
exactly.
The box with the picture.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, how do you start making a puzzle when you don't know what the goal is? Like,
Right.
That's crazy to me. Like, there's absolutely no version of me that would ever want to be on the puzzle. If you're sending people home based on that, I'm out of here. Gone. I feel like I would just stand there crying. Like,
right.
I would just feel so hopeless. But the villains absolutely crushed this. They won. They won. They really were working very well together. This wasn't just about brute strength. Like when they were moving, who was in that? Was it Haley?
Yeah.
Haley through the cage.
I
When they
think
were
it
moving
was,
her
yeah.
through, when she was like on the ground. I mean, they had such synchronization. Like they were so perfectly in
Well, you
time.
also got all the dude bros over there.
Right. I mean, they just
like they were so much stronger.
Yeah, they did, but they just worked well together. Like they just calling out to each other. Like the communication was great.
Yeah.
It's a
Very
problem.
clear, very good communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then not even just that, like the other tribe was having such a hard time with that puzzle. Like it was a disaster watching them try to figure that thing out.
I do think that if they hadn't fallen so far behind in the more physical part of it, though, it would have been like a pretty close race. Like I feel like
Right.
the new villains tribe with the meat tray over there, like they're so strong that like they're able to overcome, because I don't think they did that great in the puzzle either. I think that they had such a head start though that it was
they were just also like working together so much better. Like George kept having, like George got swapped out, Stevie got swapped out. They kept like butting heads with each other. It was just like they weren't working well together.
Right, yeah. And then George came back in at one point. Like it was, they were swapping people out of the puzzle. It was kind of a mess. But oh man, George can't catch a break. By the way, it's like, I mean, he's amazing. So like he continues to survive. But it's like another immunity challenge with a new tribe though now, and he's going back to tribal council. Like you know, and it's like, it's wild. But I hope it's not all like this, where now like we had one tribe dominating so much that they had to do this tribe swap, and now it's just a new tribe is going to be dominating everything. Yeah. I want to see it go back and forth a little bit, you know.
I don't think that's going to be the case. At least not with the next episode coming up. I mean, not to be jumping ahead, but obviously, if you're here, you definitely already watched. So, like the next one had how we're going to now find out what Simon's thing is. So,
right. So
I'm hoping that this means that he tries to play it.
Yeah.
and that would then suggest that they go to tribal, which means the villains lose.
Sure.
That's what I'm hoping for.
It's wild to see like how bad the original villains tribe did, because after this tribe swap, you now have 2 even tribes of 8, right? But each tribe has 5 heroes and 3 villains on it. So they like evened up the teams, like 5 OG heroes and 3 OG villains. So like even now you've evened up the tribes. People are on new tribes. They're working with new people. But in both tribes, the original heroes could technically just have the majority and vote out whoever they want in both tribes. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's kind of like the heroes did so well to start off with the immunity challenges that like whoever gets through on the villains, whoever makes it to the top 10, top 5, top 3 or whatever, is like they have played an incredible game, because the heroes just dominated the early start of this to the point where now they have a majority in both tribes.
And again, we talked about this in the very beginning, like the villains really shot themselves in the foot because they had somebody go home and were given the option to either send somebody else home or just like skip it. And they were like, no, we'll lose 2 people in this first week.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Like it put them at such a big disadvantage right from the get.
Yep. No, absolutely. I remember we talked about that too. Like, because that was a whole thing about how like the villains were the first tribe ever to lose the first 3 immunity challenges in a row. the first 3. And I remember we had a whole discussion about it. Like, do you think if they knew things would go this way, that they would have decided not to vote once they lost Jackie? And look how it is. I mean, there's still 10 heroes in there and it's only 6 villains, So
Is it really 5 heroes and 3 villains on each tribe?
Yeah.
That really makes you wonder how random this is. I know what it looked like, but I'm just saying. Ever since I read something that, like, production has a lot of interference in Australian Survivor, like I just saw something about that on Twitter. It was like a random tweet. It doesn't mean there's anything to it. But once somebody plants a seed like that, you're always like,
sure. And Kyle always looking for shenanigans.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I am. I'm like, oh. It doesn't take me out of it. Like I'm still dialed in.
Yeah.
But
So I have I took notes, of course, about who switched and who's on which tribe. So Nina, Sam, David, Sean, and Haley, the 5 of them, are now all villains. They used to be heroes. And then on the heroes tribe, you still have Benji, Jerry, you still have Matt, you still have Flick and Paige. So another 5 on the heroes. So each tribe has 5 heroes and 3 villains.
Wow. I don't know. Is that random? Tricky.
Do you feel like we should have had one tribe that was like heavy with heroes and one tribe that was heavy with villains or something?
I don't know. It just seems so perfect. 5 and 3, 5 and 3.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
It could be totally fine.
You see what Matt says here? No. Matt says, love watching Nina go to the villains tribe, her mom's home turf.
Yeah, Nina's been playing a very low-key game. Very low-key.
I like
but again, to be
though.
fair, we just haven't really seen a lot of that side.
That's exactly what Tommy said. Yeah, we've seen nothing. But either way, I think it would be very smart for her to play a low-key game because, like, her mother does put a target on her back. Even though I do think there are larger targets in this.
Yeah.
Because people come in here with such history. There's so many little vendettas out there. But
I really like Nina.
I like her too. So anyway, heroes lose, right? Paige wants George. So Shawnee wants to know, what does God want? And a decision is rendered that God does not like Paige. And
breaking news.
It looks like it's Paige's time to go. Now, Leah had mentioned on Monday that Paige was a trophy hunter, and was out here, killing animals for sport. And this adds a lot of color to the discourse between Rogue and Paige. Now, I'm not saying this makes us like Rogue, but this is a couple of points in her direction. Because, Rogue's big profession is working around the world to save animals. So this is definitely some stunt casting from
I don't remember this talking point. I don't remember us talking about this.
We weren't talking about this. I read it in the comments that I saw Leah mention it, but we didn't put it on the screen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, that's interesting. And then I did some research. And this is what I stumbled upon. So what do we think about that? This really adds a lot of context around the whole Rogue thing and so what do you call a hero and like all that sass and all the head bopping and stuff. It's like, oh, now wait a minute now. This is interesting.
I still think Rogue really sucks.
Well, I mean, of course.
No, Rogue does suck. I'm not saying she doesn't suck, but like Paige sucks too.
Oh, Paige definitely sucks. Which I didn't know about the whole trophy hunting thing, and I started off, kind of liking Paige, but knowing that and seeing some of what happened in this episode too really made me dislike Paige a lot. man, she's really like, she's very bossy with people. She was like directing people. You make the rice. You do this. You do that. And then even the way she was talking to Stevie, being like, "Oh, I've been making the fire all season." And it's like Stevie has played this game before. It's like
Yes,
it's not even his first time on the show.
She also just like she's weirdly cocky for someone that hasn't really had like overwhelming success over anybody else. Like, I'm not saying that she's been like playing badly, but like she's not playing nearly as well as she is acting like she has. Like, she was so overly confident for what? I just don't know where it was coming from.
Well, Benji made a comment about that. He's like, I'm not exactly sure why Paige is calling the shots, but okay, I need to kind of fall into the background anyway. So
it's just
really
so strange.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Really strange. But yeah, so that's that. Nobody really knows where Jerry lies, right? I didn't know what Jerry would do either. Really happy that
like
hopefully
Jerry.
we don't ever have to hear Hero Strong anymore.
I know.
Really tired of that.
I really like Jerry though. I think that
yeah, he's moved up in my world.
Right? Like I think he's just like at this point he's gotten tossed around from tribe to tribe. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like
tossed around.
That's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
I just like the phrase tossed around. Sounds
and I feel like and I feel like I like that he's been like speaking up and speaking his mind, and it doesn't seem to be hurting him. Right? At least at this point, it doesn't seem to be hurting him. So like
I also think people really underestimate him because like, you know, we usually see like the older people in these games just like don't really know what's going on. They're chaotic or they're like just like left out of conversations or whatever. But he's like sharp. He knows what's up, you know? And I feel like people like just assume he doesn't and they underestimate him.
Yeah.
Justice for Jerry. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like him.
Justice for Jerry.
Justice for Jerry.
Love it.
So that brings us to tribal, really, right? There's some exciting things that happened here. You know, the winds of change were a blowing, right? Shawnee got a little concerned. Temperature at camp had changed, and she was listening to some things at tribal there. Did ultimately decide to play her idol in honor of George.
Yeah.
That was exciting.
This put her into my top 3 for the week, by the way. That she
is that so?
We'll get into that a little. I won't tell you where she is in the top 3 for me this week, but
don't spoil it.
This move though of her coming in using the idol to save George made me because I had been thinking I already had 2 people locked in that I knew I wanted to put, and I was thinking I was thinking about picking a different person for my 3rd, but this move of Shawnee using the idol made she immediately got boosted into my top 3. So
I also love that she immediately got this idol and then immediately used it, and even George doesn't know that she has another one. Just like vibing.
She still got one. Yeah.
I also love that. Can I just tell you, like, I love that she brought this dress that she wears all the time. It's like a very cute dress, like a summery dress. And now it's like completely like just dirty and stained and like because she's been living on an island. But like she's wearing it in the opening that we play in the when we start off the podcast. And it looks so like nice and clean. Like she's ready to go to like some kind of like summer party. And she's still wearing it and she looks so cute in it, but like it's just filthy now.
It's funny. Well, that's it, right?
I love Shawnee. I love Shawnee.
Paige is sent away.
Goodbye. I did really like when after Shawnee played the idol for George. And just like the faces of the people that were planning to vote him out, just like the way that they just shifted because they were so confident. There was no mention whatsoever of what if he has an idol or what if somebody else has an idol or blah, blah, blah.
Paige went from having the biggest smile on her face to immediately going, "Oh, I'm done."
It was so beautiful to see. It was so beautiful.
as soon as that idol was played, and she didn't even say it when the idol was played. Like the idol was played, George's votes got read out. They did not count, and then that first vote was read for Paige, and she was just like, "I'm gone, I'm gone." And I immediately tweeted, "Shouldn't have messed with the king. Sorry, Paige. Should have stuck with that plan to get out Benji."
I'm cooked. She stuffed it. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite. See you later. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Get out of here, Paige.
See you later. See you later.
You can go kick rocks.
Yeah, for all I care. Rocks, paper, scissors.
Oh no.
I don't want to.
What?
You could really get into some stupid puns in there. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like navigating through any of that. It seems very daunting and very
Just
murky.
immediately. I don't want to.
I was like, no. Yeah, no, thanks. No, thanks. These were our rankings from last week. All right, this is what we thought. After our little point distribution vote gathering, we had Shawnee in the lead with 11. And George right behind with 6. I do reckon we'll be seeing some shifts here.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing some shifts here. Oh, Simon. Oh, poor Simon. Simon has 4 with Sean with 5. Now, I thought about this graphic. Should I have moved Sean around? I don't know. It just feels like a lot of extra work. So probably not going to be doing that. This is what it will look like. Yeah. So where do we land this time around?
I have my 3. It's just the order.
I've got my 3 and the order, so I can go.
I was going to say, John does usually kick us off. All
right.
So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Number 1.
Who are you ranking as your favorite player? This is your favorite player of the week, or your third favorite player of the week?
That's my favorite. I'm starting off with number 1.
Right from the top, right with a bang.
I have a feeling we're all going to have the same number 1.
There is no one else that I could possibly choose other than the king himself, right. King George.
Of course.
What a masterful week. It's just he's just wildly entertaining to watch. It feels like every episode he makes a big move. It feels like something is going on that involves George, and just like the strategy that he somehow manages to pull together, whether he's safe, whether he's in danger, he always is playing such an impactful role in whatever happens at a tribal or within the tribe or whatever. George, number 1, gets my 3 points. Yeah. Easy. Number 2 for me, and it's the same as last week for me. My number 2 is Jordy. I freaking love Jordy. I think he's awesome. I really like him. I really enjoyed watching him sort of try to adapt his game, right? Because we saw him sort of like splitting from Simon and going and working with George, was feeding George very valuable information, and then was thrown under the bus by George, but is still now like continuing to survive in the game and adapt. And like now they've got the meat tray over there, and he was over there trying to figure out ways to get in close with them. And what's funny is that what we heard from guys like Sean was that they could kind of see through what Simon was doing. So Simon now feels so safe and secure. He's got these other big guys over there. They're so stacked, and he's ready to go.
But Jordy's kind of set up in a better position than Simon is.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody is saying Jordy's name. Everybody is seeing through what Simon is doing. So that's why Jordy for me, number 2. Right. And then my number 3, I was a little torn. I actually was thinking about going with Flick this week. I like Flick. Yeah, I think she's fun.
What?
But what? What do you mean?
Flick. All right.
You don't like Flick? You don't like Flick?
Oh my god.
I can't think of anything she did this week that I would.
We haven't seen enough of her.
Right. Like I don't see why she should be awarded a point, but I am excited to hear.
Well, isn't this just supposed to be random? It's just whatever we want.
It's whatever your reasoning is. I'm just excited to hear your reasoning. Yeah. I don't think
I like
something of a point.
Wow, geez. Oh my god.
Yeah, tell us why. Why you want to give her a point?
No, well, I'm not giving her a point. I was saying I was going to go Flick because I just like Flick. I think she's funny. I think she's very fun to watch. I think she's, she's been on the show before. I know her. I like Flick. So I was thinking about giving her my third place spot this week. But Shawnee's use of the idol to save George in that tribal, she's got to be my number 3. So Shawnee. So number 1 for me is George. Number 2 is Jordy. Number 3 is Shawnee. Yeah. And I also think Flick is really cute.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all that.
She also has a very nice butt. But anyway.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And there it is. Ridiculous.
Stupid.
So Gina, do you know where you stand?
I do. So those 3 were also my 3. I just wasn't sure if I wanted Jordy or Shawnee to be second and third. But
so you're in agreement that George is number 1.
Oh, how could you not? After that tribal, it's like, come on. Like as somebody who is very new to the Australian Survivor world, as someone who's very
Flick do have a nice booty. I'll say it too. Respect.
I'm so outnumbered here. So stupid. As somebody who is new to the Australian Survivor world and like didn't really know these people that well, that tribal happened and I was like, oh, this is why he's king. Like this is why they call him King George. This is why you can't give these points to anybody else. There's just no way.
Right.
Yeah, I think Jordy's gonna be my number 2 also.
Wow. All right, great.
I especially like, if for no other reason, the whole like video chat moment
It's very sweet.
made me feel very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And then Shawnee's my girl. Shawnee's been getting all 3 of my points every week, so we had to knock her down a few pegs this week, but she's still at number 3.
Wow.
So we had the same rankings: George, Jordy, and Shawnee. Very nice. All right, makes sense though.
Well, I'm gonna go against
I
have a feeling
I was gonna say, yeah.
Contrary.
I was about to say, I'm very excited to hear Kyle's ranking.
Anytime we're in agreement, Kyle's way off script.
I know.
I'm not. I'm actually not.
Listen, I got to tell you too. Everybody agrees with me. I mean, she's hot. So is Shawnee. Everybody loves Flick.
Shawnee is hot. She's hot.
So many hot people on this cast, says Matt, and also Survivor. Hotties versus villains.
I definitely gave my 3 points to George. Obviously.
Clean sweep for George.
I gave my 2 points to Shawnee.
Okay.
Because of the double idol thing, her involvement in the Spice Girls. And that is why I gave my last point to Liz, because I feel like it is very disrespectful for no one to be discussing what hand she played in this week's chaos. Okay. Liz is one of the Spice Girls, and that would not have been pulled off without her fantabulous acting alongside the Lady Shawnee. So yeah, I'm happy to give her a point. I'm so sorry I've only got 1 left. Maybe we can make good on this later in the season if you make it longer. But
I got to give Matt what he wants.
Oh no. Oh, yeah.
Anytime she garners points, you should be seeing. There it is. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. And that's it, right? That's it. That's what we got. I don't remember what the next one said, except that we're going to find out what is going on with the cookie idol.
The idol, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw, so they mentioned on the next on, they specifically said King George and Queen Shawnee. So they're up to something. It also looked like maybe Sean was making some kind of deal with Simon, potentially. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't remember, honestly.
And that's it.
All right.
I also, can I just say, one of my favorite things in every one of these episodes so far is that every time Simon's name comes up on the screen when he's doing a confessional or something, it's the blacked out idol with the X through it. Like, I just love it. It's just like a permanent thing. Like, we're 9 episodes in, And since he found that stupid cookie idol, every time they show his name, he's got a little blacked out idol with an X through it. And it's just, I love it because he's like, especially when he's talking about it, he's like, I have my cookie idol. I feel so good in the game. And it's just like, it has a big X through it. It's like,
I also have to laugh because he is not saying, I've got my cookie idol. That's something we made up. He's not calling it a cookie idol.
I feel like he did call it that.
Did he?
He said that.
I don't think he
when
did.
Jordy, when Jordy,
Really?
oh, why is it like that? There's no necklace. And Simon was like, it's a cookie idol. It's the shape of a cookie. Like that's Simon said that. Simon says.
Oh, I thought we made that up.
No, he has Simon has referred to it as a
him.
cookie
I
idol.
don't remember that.
That actually disappoints me. That's way less fun than I thought it was. That sucks. Well, on that note, I guess we'll get to find out exactly what's going on with the actual cookie idol. That'll be Monday at 9:30 Eastern. What are that? It'll be episodes 10 and 11. Well, we are motoring through this season, aren't we? I heard that viewership is going up.
As it should.
As it should. Hey.
Which is fantastic. Good job. Good. I don't know why Australia accepts this strategy, but does not accept Big Brother. What's your problem?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
What's going on?
You seem to get it. You know, what is going on? We're going to dive into that. That'll be the next midnight thing. We have a lot of things to do at midnight. And then I guess we'll be back next week, Thursday. Oh, you want to do 9:30? Should we bump it up? We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah.
Because now the challenge is finally over.
We have the option. We have the option.
Well, we'll have that all figured out by the time we come to you on Monday. In the meantime, you can find us in the socials at StratChatPod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Toss us a like, a follow, a subscription, all the above. And tell your friends and come hang out. We'll see you Monday. It's a mess.